My roommates are giving me crap for having guests, mostly men, over and saying the noises we make are too loud. Now they're banning me from bringing anyone home. I, 22F, have been living with my roommates, 20s for 3 months now. I knew them for about a year before moving in, and I thought they were pretty cool, but I don't know now. They've known each other for years, since high school. Anyway, in the first month, I brought someone home from town and he ended up staying the night. One of my roommates saw him leave in the morning and told the other one, and they kinda gave me crap for a while, but eventually, they got over it, or so I thought. The next time, I had a friend, girl, stay over for the night and we watched movies. I asked if I could have her over, and they both said that's fine, but complained afterward that we had made too much noise and that they didn't want that friend over again, night or day, because she laughed too loudly. She does, but banning someone from the house for laughing? I said fine, whatever, and we've done movie nights at her place since. I've recently been seeing this guy, though, for about a month, and he stayed over 3 times since then. The first night, they thought it was a one-night stand thing again and gave me crap. The second night, they kinda seemed annoyed and one said we had been using the bathroom too much. His room is right next to it. I didn't think we had, but I said okay, and they didn't say I couldn't bring him over again. The third night, they told me he wasn't allowed over again because it was their space and he used the bathroom too much and they could hear us having sex all night. We had sex once and it was in the morning, so I don't really know what they were hearing. Also, he only used the bathroom once, and I told him to be really quiet, and he was, but they said they don't want me bringing people over anymore and that I can go to the person's house if I'm gonna keep doing it. I can get it if it was for safety, like if I was bringing random guys into the house, but for friends and a guy I've been seeing? There is another flatmate, girl, who is always at her boyfriend's, but she was there one night and said she didn't hear anything, and she is right next to my room, so I think they may be making stuff up. They bring guys over and play Xbox till like 3 in the morning, and their friends pass out on the couch. I'm getting pretty annoyed with all the hypocrisy. I would move but can't afford to move out right now/live on my own, but are they being reasonable? Am I being a bad roommate? I was way worse with my other flat, brought home guys all the time, and no one ever complained. How can I go about making them more okay with me having people over? Or do I just have to deal with it? Top/relevant comments. Commenter. You haven't really given enough info to say for sure, but I'm going to guess that it's jealousy. They just gave you crap at first because that's what guys do when they're mildly jealous sometimes. I felt for a long time that SLT shaming is often rooted in jealousy. But then you started bringing the same guy around, so they ramped it up. Obviously, they don't follow their own rule, so you don't have to either. You could tell them that you'll stop having people over when they do, but that might start a feud of some sort. I would just tell them to mind their own business. I totally understand that confrontations like this are extremely uncomfortable, but if you want any chance of getting them to stop their bullcrap, you'll have to persevere. Ops response. I don't think it is jealousy. We knew each other beforehand, and neither of them has ever indicated any interest like that before. Commenter 2. I think perhaps you're confusing jealousy with envy. It may not come from a place of desire, it could simply be a case of not wanting anyone else to have what they can't. I'm inclined to agree with the parent comment on this one. The only reason, in my mind, an adult male gets uncomfortable when an adult female he knows is sexually active is jealousy. Seeing your beau leave in the morning is probably triggering them. It could also be an alpha thing, it's their house, no unfamiliar men on their turf, etc. You keep doing you, girl. Ops response. Haha, maybe actually, neither of them has brought anyone home, so it could be that. Not my problem though, all these comments have got me just waiting for them to say something now, haha. Commenter 3. Go by whatever the lease says. You pay to live there just like they do. As long as none of the people you invite over decide to move in suddenly, you're fine. Ops response. Nothing about it is in the lease, but since I have to live with them for at least a couple more months, do I just say I'm gonna keep doing it and they should deal with it? Or is there some way I can do it so they don't get pissed off? Commenter 4. How about you stop bringing people over when they stop playing video games until 3 and having friends crash on the couch? Sound like a good compromise? It won't to them because they're hypocrites who think they can bully you. Tip, don't let them. They're being unreasonable, and you know it. The lease doesn't say anything, and your guests aren't staying for more than one night. If they try to go to the landlord, have your female roommate back you up. You're paying to live in a space, so you have the right to enjoy it in a reasonable manner. These are the moments that either make you a doormat or give you a spine of steel. Ops response. I really don't mind the video game since I'm usually awake anyway, but if I had been trying to sleep, it would definitely keep me up. I'll bring this up if I have him over again and they say something. I usually don't like confrontation, but I really don't like the idea of not being able to do what I like in my own home, so I just gotta bite the bullet and do it. Thanks. Commenter 5. It's not about what you mind or are okay putting up with. Fair is fair, and they are being hypocritical jerks. Do what you want, just don't be a jerk about it. If they give you crap, tell them they invite people over, and you are just doing what they are doing as a roommate who's paying rent to live there. Ops response. Will do. I'm really glad people don't think I'm being unreasonable, though. Thanks for the advice. Update 2 weeks later. I honestly cannot believe how quickly things escalated, and I'm sorry for not updating sooner, but I've been ridiculously stressed and busy with what happened. So, following the advice posted, I continued bringing over my, now, boyfriend and ignoring them if they beached about it. Things came to a huge head last weekend, and I've spent the last week dealing with the fallout. Last Saturday, he came over and we were going to have an early night so we could do some hiking in the morning. Roommates were drinking with their friends, playing Xbox, making loads of noise, so I went out and asked if they could keep it down. I honestly thought they were fine. He and I were able to sleep until about 4 a.m. when one of them burst into our room with an effing baseball bat and started smashing stuff. He was screaming things about how I had embarrassed him in front of his friends when I didn't have the decency to shut up, calling me a SLT and a WHRE. I thought he was going to kill me, but my boyfriend jumped up and started trying to restrain him. The other roommate ran in and started helping. My boyfriend got smacked in the nose and blood was running everywhere. I was on the phone with the police by this point. They came and he was arrested. My boyfriend had to go to the hospital, his nose had been broken, and about $350 worth of damage was done to my belongings. The other roommate has not stopped apologizing to me nonstop about how he didn't realize that the crazy roommate was that bad, and he was just trying to back up an old friend, but he said my boyfriend is welcome anytime. My boyfriend and I both have a restraining order against the crazy roommate, and the police came with him as he moved out all his crap, and we've gotten the locks changed. I'm still looking at moving out as soon as possible and I'm staying most nights at my boyfriend's. I'm struggling to sleep because I'm sure someone is going to burst into the room. I can't believe I could misjudge someone so much. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Wow, that went from 0 to 100 crazy fast. I don't think anyone could have predicted that sort of crazed reaction from your roommate, and from the looks of it, neither did your other roommate. He has serious deep-seated issues. At least you were able to find the source of the problem, and hopefully the crazy guy doesn't come back. What you met was basically what the internet calls a nice guy. He clearly has some messed up misogynistic views. Commenter 2. He was 110% into her, in addition to being a nutjob. Commenter 3. Reading that was terrifying because, at one point, I was at my high school boyfriend's house with several of our mutual friends, all playing video games, and he took me upstairs and shredded me about embarrassing him in front of his friends because one of our mutual friends had a stiff neck and I rubbed it. Like, literally so platonic. Guess who turned out to be a jealous, abusive crap?